I was reading on the internet a couple of days ago that some guy who lived in a town in America, it's called something like Gay Town or something like that.
I'm trying to spit on you guys.
That's fine. Who actually got banned from Xbox Online because his hometown was Gay Town, and so they banned him because they thought he was being and he sent letters, and eventually the head of Xbox, had to do a press statement saying we didn't realise that it was actually a place.
Gay
This guy should have been here, and the mayor of Gay Town got involved and everything. I was reading it, and this guy got banned from playing online Xbox because he was from Gay Town.
See, we thought
That's how you say it.
when we were doing this last time, we figured that the reason why certain words were being censored out were because so that people couldn't sex chat or send negative comments to people during their show.
Okay.
So we figured that's probably what the deal is, because it was definitely somewhat indiscriminately picking
Random words
that had possible derogatory meanings, because we picked other sexually related terms that it had no idea what it was.
Like cum guzzler.
Guzzler thing.
What was the one you put in, like bukkake or something like that?
Bukkake worked. Yeah.
It was there. It was fine.
Yeah.
So Felch worked. Felch was in there.
Clearly, whoever built
So
this
whoever
bot
built it
was
really
not into
It was probably outsourced and
God.
things didn't translate. I don't know, but it was very bizarre. So tell us about the work you've been doing on your live cam show. What is that like?
Do you want to answer that?
It's obviously for me. It's a bit strange. People watching me have sex. It's not something.
And this is the first time you've ever.
No, on that kind of scale. Yeah, obviously. Obviously, I worked in nightclubs for you don't work in nightclubs for 18 years without seeing some crazy stuff. I'm doing some crazy stuff, but I've not had a few hundred people tune into me on the internet to have sex before. So it's a bit. It was a bit strange. I've really got into it now, if I'm being honest. Last night we did a show last night, and people are actually getting to know me. And
you get this, hi Andy.
Hi Andy, how you doing? It's like, hey, how you doing? And we have chat. And sometimes, she can just be sat there looking at me because we're discussing soccer with guys
soccer?
online.
Did you say soccer?
Okay, with football, but then soccer with people. So I've kind of got into it now. At first, it was weird. It was strange.
Well, I think you're really aware of it at first. You're just kind of thinking about, there's people watching.
Yeah.
And you just kind of got to put that out of your head. Or try to.
And obviously people want to see stuff, so you kind of have to stand or be in a certain way, so then you're not blocking this stuff. So she's kind of directing me, no, you've got to left a bit, and there's some.
Do you have to cheat things? Like you open your legs more and cheat?
Well, I was chatting with a friend of ours, Derek, who's another adult performer, Derek Pierce, and he said you've got to stand like a boxer and put one leg forward, which is true, because people need to see, things going into
They're
film.
they're paying to look at certain things. So.
That's right. So you need to stand. Well, I didn't get that at first. I was just kind of like, I'll just knock one out, and here we go. But it's just not like that at all. So it was strange at first. But luckily, she's done one or two things in front of a camera before, and so she was like, no, left, right. So she kind of trained me. She trained me. So
and you just admitted that.
On camera, you trained me, okay?
Say that again. Kylie Ireland trained me. I want them to
Can we
know
do
I
it?
ringtone.
Can we
You want to be able to have that as a snippet so that you can play that whenever you like.
Yeah, so...
but you forgot. Kylie Ireland trained me.
So how would you describe your relationship? Because obviously you're having sex live on camera. Are you having sex with other people, either one of you?
No.
Well, in movies occasionally, I am.
You're having sex only with Kylie?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And with the business the way it's been lately, there hasn't been a whole lot of movies, so really, I think since we've got married, I've had sex with a couple chicks.
Yeah, you've only had sex with women since we've been married. But
it's okay. Women in very long dildos.
Yes,
but that's okay. He took care of that. He topped that.
Yeah. So I only have sex with.
But now you're going to start getting the questions, like how do you deal with your wife doing this?
How do you deal with your wife?
How do you deal with your wife?
Very badly.
Which was kind of a surprise to
It
us,
was, yeah,
actually.
because when we first started talking on Twitter, she would talk to me from sets and on all, after.
Yeah, you totally knew who she
So
was.
I knew
what she was
everything about
doing.
her when I first came over. But the first time I was actually on set with her, I mean, I freaked. There's no two ways about it. My brain just went, yeah, you don't like this. I just completely and utterly, it was, I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
And I actually left the set. I just went, I just can't do it.
Which is a very normal reaction.
Which, yeah,
I
totally.
would, yeah.
But I mean, we didn't expect it because, the
Absolutely.
years in nightclubs and all of the,
Absolutely,
he was a bit of a playboy, we'll say. Okay, filthy. But, we thought it would, we thought it was fine.
But it is different when you actually have this deeper connection with someone.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's what it is.
It's other stuff is going on.
Because he's not offended by, he loves watching my movies.
Right, it's not that.
But it's removed. It's not
Right.
live.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Right.
But to be fair, I mean, you for the first time, you were freaking out as well, but in a different way.
No, this is true. I mean, even it's like, a week and a half into us just IMing. I mean, we already knew that we were supposed to be together. We already knew that we were in love. And I remember telling my friend Amber Rain, I said, this is so weird because I've always stood, on this one point. It's like, I don't care, because you get these girls that come and go in the business. It's like, oh, new girl in the business, boom, she makes a big splash. Oh, well, she got a boyfriend and she's out of the business now.
Right.
It's like, if I'm going to be with a guy, he's got to love me it doesn't matter what I do. Love me, love what I do. That's just the way it is. I'm not going to quit this business for anyone. And I told Amber, I said, God, for the first time, I'm actually starting to think otherwise about this. But, I don't want to stay in front of the camera forever anyway. And right now, the business is going through so much turmoil
Right.
that it's not really a big issue anyway because I'm not working a whole lot. Everything I'm doing is pretty much for us, or for the website or, whatever.
And it is different when you're producing your own material for you, for your own profit, as opposed to working for somebody else.
And I would like to get back to directing too. I kind of got off track on that.
You're
But there's
such
not
a-
as much directing work either,
Right.
You're a businesswoman.
Yeah.
You are different than the girl who just shows up for the job.
I did that
You can
16
direct.
years
You
ago.
can promote.
I've directed about 50 movies, and they're good. They're dirty.
That's what I
I'm
was
very
gonna
proud of my
say.
work.
Yeah, so do you ever run up against the people who want to steer you into what about porn for women,
Oh, I make porn for women. I make porn for women like us.
Right, yeah.
And that's what's not fair about it. Is everybody's like, oh, porn for women, or they hear, she directs porn for women. It's like, no, hardly. There's a whole set of women out there that want to see something that's hardcore. They want to see their fantasies played out. Let's talk about rape and abduction fantasies.
Right.
I mean, right there is an easy one. I think realistically, I don't know what the percentage is, maybe you will know, the percentage of women that actually have some kind of a rape or abduction fantasy.
They won't admit it, will they?
I don't think most do.
Yeah. You take that poll.
There actually have been some studies done in recent years, and it's up there. It's up there. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head.
I mean, I think I remember reading something like 80%, and those are just the ones admitting it.
Right. It's very high.
It is. It's high.
It's like in the top 3 of.
No, we're not saying that women want to get
Sexual
raped.
No, it's
we're
very
saying
different.
that it's kind of
But
like
as
have
a
your
sexual fantasy.
have your husband put on a mask and break into the house some night. But you got to plan these things ahead of time.
Yes.
Husbands do
Don't
not
just
go breaking into the house and raping your wife. This is not good.
Especially in Texas, where she probably has her own gun.
She might kill you with one of her 2 vibrators.
Right.
It is Texas after all.
Those vibrator deaths. Gotta watch out for.
But so those are a lot of the scenarios that you'll see in the movies that I directed are things like that, fantasy versions of rape and abduction.